Hey everybody, Goosebumps are Dummies here, back again from another video, and today we're going to be talking about Goosebumps, hence the name Goosebumps for Dummies. Yeah, specifically, modern Goosebumps classics. Now, this is a concept I have cooked up, and is basically what Goosebumps books coming out in the past, 10 or so years, it'll be looked like in the next 15 years as books from the 90s are looked back upon right now. And we're talking about very specific ones, not just the whole, 90s era of Goosebumps books in the next 15 years for moderns. No, we're going to be talking about some specific ones, basically the modern versions in the next 15 years of, say, Chase and Die, Night of the Living Dummy, Haunted Mask, those books. They're so popular even now, I wonder what books from the modern era will grow just as popular as those, or are already as popular as those, because there's a few popular ones on this list, or with cult following, some of these. So yeah, that's just kind of the idea today. We're going to talk about some books that I think will get more nostalgia, and look back upon more, and just grow more popular in the future, and be like very popular books, as 90s books are now, from Goosebumps. Yeah, so if you have any other books you want to throw out there in the comments at the end of this video, go ahead. Think about it, maybe make some predictions. There's some interesting takes on here. We're about to throw up a weird one. And, yeah, well, honestly, any moderns are up for becoming classics, honestly. It just depends on if people really like those ones. And there are some people hate, so. Anyways, let's just start off this list with probably the least likely to get this treatment. The 5 Masks of Dr. Scream. Now, the reason I throw this up here is because it's kind of similar to Haunted Mask. It is an ambiguous Halloween story that seems to, have a lot of care put into it. I feel like Stine probably really likes this one, and it does share similarities to Haunted Mask with masks. And there are some interesting mechanics involved in this book. It is, like I said, ambiguous. It's a very big adventure story, and there's a lot of action. And yes, a lot of action for a Halloween book, and a lot of crazy shit going on. This just feels like one of those books people go, yeah, this book is awesome because it's action-packed, it is fun, it is big, and it has interesting characters, and even a really dark twist ending. Kind of. Yeah, I kind of like this book. It's actually growing on me. I used to give it a 6.5 out of 10. I think I'm going to raise it to an 8 in the future because it is really darn good. But opinions out of the way, I think this one could become the Haunted Mask for kids now. It could become popular. Moving on to a book that is kind of popular for certain reasons, we have Here Comes the Jaggedy. Now, I don't fucking like this one, alright? But people do like this one. And a lot of people bring up the fact that it's kind of like a 90s book. It feels more like a 90s book, and even has Series 2000 vibes, or just 90s vibes in it in general. Now, I think what works for this book is that, actually. It does feel more reminiscent of the old Goosebumps, and it feels like one a lot of people would like, and I kind of get why people might like this one. And I could see this one just becoming a classic. It's also a creature feature book, which is interesting. It has some cool mechanics. It's unique, and it's interesting. So, yeah, I could totally see this one becoming a very popular one someday. And it even is a little popular right now, especially if that weird-ass title. So, yeah. Another one that is actually popular right now still is The Dummy Meets the Mummy, which I actually just reread a couple weeks ago. The Dummy Meets the Mummy is a very interesting book, and it's basically a monster battle. This one is popular because not only isn't a very good book to a lot of people, I agree actually, it is a fight between Slappy and the Mummy, though you might think it's Prince Karut's Arrow Goddess, which is a newcomer to the Goosebumps franchise in this book. Maybe you'll appear one day, maybe you'll even cameo in the new Dummy book, or sorry, Mummy book, Night of the Living Mummy. That one might become a classic one day. Oh god. But yeah, this one is very liked right now. I could see a lot of nostalgia for people growing up with it right now who really like it. This next one is really weird, but I think it'll work. And that's because it is not too long. It is one of the more obtainable of these certain types of books. And it's just one that I feel a lot of people have at least touched or, like, look kind of fondly on, and that is Slappy's Revenge. Yeah, weird one, I know. This is going to become, like, a weird phenomenon, I feel. People are going to really want to get their hands on Slappy's Revenge one day, because it's one of the more popular of the movie books. Not a lot of people care about the survival guide. Night of the Living Monsters is just babyish. Activity book is really rare, actually. And movie novel is really obtainable. But not a lot of people read it, since it is an exact replica of the movie. But while I really like the movie novel, I don't think a lot of people care for it as much as this. And this is definitely the most popular of the movie books, besides obtaining the movie novel, but this is probably the most popularly read and liked. And the movie is going to become nostalgic one day. I feel like this would fall in place with it. People are going to be like, oh, Slappy's Revenge was a cool little book. To be fair, I fucking hate it, but I'm not a big fan of that, but I opinions out of the way. Now, this next one, it's falling under the category of Here Comes the Shaggy and The Mummy Meets the Mummy. It's really popular right now and well liked. And you know what? I'm actually throw these two together since they are very similar. The first two most wanted special editions. These are very popular still. They're still being produced, I believe, sold at Barnes & Noble and shit. And these just, I find decently frequently often, and they're probably one of the most read, most wanteds. These two in particular. They're most sought out for, and they're just very popular. Especially since they're holiday books. And, yeah, people really like this one. Some people really like this one, I think. Though this one isn't really great from memory. Yeah, these two are decently looked upon Goosebumps books. They're decently popular. A lot of people like this one. Some people like this one. I feel like since they're holiday books, you're gonna be like, oh yeah, I want to read a Christmas Goosebumps with my kid because I love Goosebumps. They'll pick up this one. Or Halloween because they really like this one when they're a child. I think that'll happen. I feel like that'll become, well, those two in particular become like the most popular special editions from this era. Moving on, this is a weird one, and it's kind of hard to explain, but please not feed the weirdo. Cult following. I think this one's gonna grow a cult following. Like, it doesn't really have that right now, though I'm one of the few people who really like this book, and I think it is slept on. Yes, I said it. With all the nasty, grotesque orange liquid spewing out of mouth scenes. It is fun. It is an interesting book, and I feel like people who really like Dummy Meets the Mummy would also really like this one. And maybe, like, when adults reread this, like, far in the future that are kids right now, they'll be like, damn, this is a really good one. I don't know. Feeling in my gut, basically. This one actually does has a cult following right now, and that is Don't Scream. Yes, Don't Scream. This one isn't very popular, and I don't think a lot of people really realize that. It's popular with adults, that's about it, and it's popular with just a certain amount of people. Nobody fucking talks about this one, besides those select, like, groups of people. This one isn't very popular in the Goosebumps franchise. Nobody fucking remembers this. I am sorry to say it, but I think one day it might become a classic. Maybe the adults liking it right now, or even some of the kids getting recommended it and who have read it, which I'm pretty sure a lot of kids who have read it really like it, or will really like it. Maybe it'll look back upon it and go, yeah, it was a really good one. Maybe I'll reread it, or maybe this is one that might get reprinted because of a fan base, or the larger the cult following is going to get, because this one's kind of getting a fan base recently. Anyways, not very popular right now, sadly, but it does have a cult following, so there's that. Now, these next two are actually the last two, and I'm pairing them together again, just like I did for the special editions there. And they're actually the two newest Goosebumps books, Goblin Monday and Scariest Book Ever. I think these are going to be looked back upon like Series 2000. I honestly think the whole entirety of House Shippers can. These have all the requirements to become, like, nostalgic. They have those captivating cover arts, like Jacobus. Look at it. Beautiful. Amazing. They look fantastic. I said it. They have, I mean, okay, there's maybe or may or may not be a video coming about this soon, but they have memorable titles, to say the least. You know, you're not going to forget Goblin Monday. It's kind of weird. It's going to stay in your mind. And especially Scariest Book Ever. Like, it's a bold title. You're not going to forget that. They have bold stories. They're different. They have unique elements. Though not entirely unique, they're just not very present in the modern era. These just feel like they would be looked back upon like Series 2000 is now as like the scarier part, or maybe the more liked modern series. And I think they will be the more liked modern series at the end of the day. So yeah, that's how I feel about this, these two books. I think House Shivers as a whole is going to be very nostalgic one day. And a lot of people are going to be like, oh, this had great covers, so it's had great stories. They were so scary, they were scarier. They were way more fun to read. Stuff like that. And obviously, all of these are up for change, like I said. No confirmation they will, just a gut feeling mostly, but I don't know. Tell me what you guys think will be looked back upon with a lot of nostalgia, or like, you know, modern Goosebumps classics. Anyways, hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.